and welcome to the class. The first thing you need to do is you need to go to aplusstudents.com. Okay, you need to go to the website. Then you need to select math as your subject. Select math as your subject. Your grade is grade 7. This is a grade 7 lesson, and the topic for today is geometric measurements. Okay. Geometric measurements is the topic. We would be finding the maybe area and perimeter of different shapes. Okay, and I'll just give you the chapter number, and the chapter number is 22 and the lesson number is 13. Chapter number 22 and lesson number 13, and the name of the lesson is finding area between two shapes or two figures. Okay, so in this particular topic, what we would be doing is we would be trying to find the area between any two given shapes. Okay, so let's go to the topic. Math, grade 7, topic geometric measurement, that is 22, lesson 13. And the first question we have is, the question says, what is the area of the shaded region? Okay, let me just copy it. And the question is on our screen. It is given as this question, and they're asking us, what is the area of the shaded region? So can we say that the area of the shaded region would be equal to the area, see, the unshaded area is in between the two triangles, right? So can we find the area of the larger triangle? Can we find area of larger triangle? And we know that the formula for the area of triangle is half times base times height. So this is the base for the larger, and this was the height for the larger triangle. So we can say half multiplied by base is 14 multiplied by 18. Agreed? So what we can do is we can either multiply 14 multiplied by 18 and divide by 2, or we can say we cancel out 2 times 1 and 2 times 9, right? So 14 times 9, we can simply find 126. So we can say the area of the larger comes out to be 126. It's yards and squared. Okay. So can we find the area of the smaller triangle? If we need to find the area of the smaller triangle, can we say that half times base times height? What is the base of the smaller triangle? The base of the smaller triangle was 10, and the height of the smaller triangle was given as 12. So we can cancel this out. We can say 10 times 6 is 60 yards squared. So when we have the area of the larger shape minus the area of the smaller shape, right? So can we find the area of the shaded region? Area of shaded region would be equals to area of larger triangle minus the area of smaller triangle, because we can see there are two triangles in this shape, right? So can we say that the larger area was 126 square yards minus 60? So the final answer comes out to be 66 yards squared. Okay, so do we agree with the values? Okay, square yards or yard square. So this is the shaded area. It would always be the outer shape, the bigger shape subtracts the smaller shape. So from the bigger shape, if we subtract the smaller shape, we will always get the area between the two shapes. Okay, moving ahead to the next question. The next question says, let me just copy it for you. Okay. In the next question, I think it's a rectangle. What is the area of the shaded region? Okay, first we'll see whether they are rectangles or whether they are squares. In this question, it says, what is the area? Question number two. What is the shaded area? So what we can see over here is that this is 20 by 20. That means both the lengths are same. It's a square. We can say this is 8 meter by 8 meter. If both the dimensions are same, the length and the value of the width, or the length and the breadth have the same value, that means the shape is a square. So how we can find the area? We can say, can we say that area of larger square would be equals to length times width. And the unit is meter squared. Similarly, we can find the area of the smaller square. So once we have the area of the larger square, I'll just highlight the shapes. If this was the given area for the larger shape, subtract the area for the smaller shape. So how can we find the shaded region? We can say that the area of the shaded area would be, better is to say that this is area 1 and better is to say this is area 2. When we are writing area 1 and area 2, we are simply reducing the work. So we can write shaded area would be area 1 minus area 2. The difference of the two areas would be the shaded area. So can we say area 1 was 400 minus 64, right? So we get 336, I think. 400 minus 64, 336. So we can say the shaded area comes out to be 336 meter square. Okay, do we agree on that? That the area is 336 meter square. Okay, moving on to the next question. Are there any questions up till now? If there are any questions, kindly let me know. For the next question, if there are no questions, I'll move on to the next question. Okay. Okay. The next question says, Let's just make a different margin separator over here. Okay. And the next question we have is this. Let's get a separator. So the next question that we have is this, and the question number 3 says, what is the given area of the shaded region, right? So we have done so much work. Let's try doing the work in a single statement. So can we say shaded area would be equals to the larger rectangle, that is the larger rectangle minus the smaller. Can we say shaded area would be equals to area of rectangle larger rectangle minus area of the smaller rectangle. Area of rectangle, that is, how do we know this is rectangle? Because a square has length and width of equal length, right? Or we say the four of the lengths are equal. But when we have two pairs of unequal lengths, that means it's a rectangle, right? And the formula would be length into width. So what is the length? 12 multiplied by width was 15 minus the other area, 4 multiplied by 5. 4 multiplied by 5. We can, I'm trying to show is we can still do the question in a single line, and that would save us a lot of working as well. This becomes 12 into 15 is 180 minus 20. And finally, we can say that the shaded area comes out to be 160 feet square. We can simply find it in a single statement as well, and we can give the answer, okay? Moving on to the next question. The question number 4 that we have is still easy. I think they are showing another rectangle, okay? Unless and until it has rectangle and a triangle or different shapes in it, it would be easy for us, okay? So the next question we have is this. This is question number 4. And what they're asking us is to do this. We need to find the shaded area. So can we say the area of the larger rectangle minus the area of the smaller rectangle? That would give us the shaded area. So can we say shaded area would be equal to what is the biggest shape? Area of rectangle. Okay, that is the larger rectangle minus area of rectangle again, because the inner shape is also rectangle, but that time this is the smaller. I'm using color codes to match the shapes, okay? So can we say that area of this larger rectangle would be, what are the dimensions? 20 by 19. 20 by 19 miles, okay? And what about the smaller one? 10 by 14. We can write 14 by 10. So order does not matter. So 20 into 19 would be 380 is equals to 380 minus 140. If we subtract 140 from 380, we would be left with, what should we be left with? shaded area would come out to be 0 minus 0 is 0, 8 minus 4 is 4, and 3 minus 1 is 2. And the unit would be miles squared. The unit of the area has to be in square, right? So we need to remember that we need to put a square over there with the unit. Okay? Do we agree on this? Okay, let's see if we have the space for another question. And the question number 5 states that, let me just copy. 5 is also simple. We have done a very similar question previously. The only difference in this question is that, let's see what is the difference. I'll just copy it on the screen. Let's see if we can finish it over here. No, we would not be able to finish over here. Let's go to question number 5. Okay, if this is given as the question number 5, what is find the area of the shaded region? So can we say that we have a larger rectangle? Sorry, triangle. So can we say shaded area would be equal to area of the larger triangle, right? Larger triangle minus area of smaller triangle. And we know that the formula for the area is half into base into height. So area would become half. This is the value for the base. Agreed. And this value would be for the height. So can we say half into 13 into 15? Subtract the area of the smaller triangle. In case of the smaller triangle, the base was 8 and the height was 9. Okay, so can we say half into 8 into 9? So 13 multiplied by 15 should be 195 divided by 2 gives us 97.5 minus 8 into 9 is 72 divided by 2 would be 36. So when we simplify this, can we say that we have found the area of the shaded region? Shaded area would be equals to 97.5 minus 36. And this should come out to be 61.5. What is the given unit? Centimeter squared. Okay, we can always find the area of any shaded region. There will be a shaded region only if and if the area is bound by an outer boundary, right? We can have area between two shapes as well, right? So what we'll do is the area between the larger shape minus the area between the smaller shape. Okay, do we agree on that? Let's see the next one. And 61.5 was the answer to the previous question. Okay, let's see. Okay, the next question says, what is the area of the shaded region when both the shapes are given to us as squares? Okay, if this was given to us, next question, this is question number 6, and both the shapes were given as squares. How do we know they were squares? Because we can see the dimensions. 15 by 15, and the inner one was 7 by 7 yards. 7 by 7 means 7 is the length and 7 is the width. Okay, so we can say shaded area would be equals to area of square, that is the larger, minus the smaller area, that is again the shape of a square. So what we can say is the larger area would be 15 multiplied by, because both the lengths have to have the same value, because that is the property of square. This would be 7 by 7. So 15 squared would be 225 minus 49 minus 49 would be equals to the shaded area, and we can say the shaded area would come out to be 6 yards with a square, because the area is supposed to have a square. So we write down the unit and we write down the square. Okay, let's see for the next question what can we do. So the next question says, okay, so the next question is saying, oh, it's a circle. Let's see what we can do with the circles. We need to remember the for formula for the area of a circle, right? That is pi r squared. We have this as question number 7. We say this is question number 7 for us. Sure, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. What they're asking us is this, both of the circles have the same center. Very important information. What is the area of the shaded region? So can we say that area of the shaded would be area of the outer circle, right? The, the radius was given to us. This is the outer circle minus the area of the inner circle. And we know the formula for area is pi r squared. So can we say that the shaded area would be equals to area of circle, that was the outer region, minus the area of the other circle, that is on the inner side of the shape. Okay, minus the other area of circle. Okay, we know that the formula for area is pi times r squared. We know that the value of pi is 3.14 multiplied by the radius of the larger. So what would be the radius of the larger? If this was 8 millimeters from here till, and the distance from here till here was 10 millimeters. Okay, so we know that the radius of the smaller we already have, but the radius of the larger would be from the center to the ending point. So can we say this was also 8 millimeter? That means the total radius would come out to be 18 millimeter. Agreed? Into 18 squared minus 3.14 into what is the radius of the smaller circle? That was 8 into 8 squared. Right? So can we say that 18 squared is 324? Okay, so can we write this as 324 into 3.14 minus 64 into 3.14, right? So whenever we have a same number being multiplied by 2 or given more than 2 numbers, we can always take a common, or we can simplify also. 3.14, I'm just doing a simple simplification. Okay, so can we say this comes out to be 1017.36 minus 64 into 3.14, and this comes out to be 200.96, and this was the value for the shaded area, and finally the answer comes out to be 1017.36, and the answer comes out to be 816.4 millimeter squared. Okay, or there was another way. I'm just giving you the example. Okay, or alternate, we could say the area was pi 18 square minus pi 8 square. We can say 18 square was 324 pi minus 64 pi. Can we see the value of pi in either of these, right? So whenever we have same thing, same value or same variable in either of them, so what we can do is we can take a common. We can take pi common, and 3 to 4 minus 64 pi multiplied by, what is 3 to 4 minus 64? That is 260. Now what we can do is 3.14 into 260 multiplied by 3.14, and the final answer would come out to be the same, 816.4, and we write millimeters squared. Okay, either we can take a common and simplify, or we just simply simplify, multiply them together, and we move ahead with the question. Okay, any questions up till now? It is always the larger outer shape minus the inner shape when you're finding the difference between in the area of two shapes. Okay, for the given question, for the given next question, they're saying both the circles have the same center. Okay, very similar question, and the radiuses are given to us. Paste this down. This is question number 8. Okay, I'll just move this ahead. This was question number 8. So what they're asking us to do is, they're saying us find the area of the shaded region. That means outer minus the inner, right? Okay. So can we say that this part of the length was given as 1313 meters? Agreed. And what else is given to us? The diameter is given to us. So can we say the radius of the smaller circle is 7 meters? So would this be 7 meter also? Therefore, the diameter of the smaller one would be, of the larger circle would be 7 plus 13. That means 20 meters. Agreed? So if we have the radius now, it's quite easy for us. Can we say shaded area would be equals to area of circle, that is the larger, minus the area of the circle, that is the smaller, right? So can I say this is pi multiplied by r square minus pi multiplied by r squared? What is the radius of the larger? The larger circle radius was 20 meters, and the radius of the smaller circle was 7 meters. 20 square is 400 pi minus 7 times 7 is 49 pi. Either we simply put down the values into the calculator and simplify. So we can say that we can have a pi common because pi is here, pi is also on the other side. That means 400 minus 49. That means 3.14 is multiplied by 351. 3.14 is multiplied by 351. And the final answer comes out to be 1102.14. And the unit should be meter square. And this was the shaded area that is bounded between two shapes. Okay? Do we agree on this? Any questions at all? Okay. If no questions, we'll move on to the next question. The next seems to be very simple. Okay. What is the area of the shaded region given in this particular question? Let's copy it down. The next question is this. And what they're asking us to do is, what is the area of the shaded? We need to find the area of the shaded region. And this was question number 9. Okay. The working would be quite simple. As we already know, when we're finding the shape, can we say that the outer triangle, the area of the outer triangle minus the area of the inner triangle? If we can find these two values, we can find the walkway. Let's suppose this was the shape of the park and they were planning on making a walkway. So we can say that the walkway, the area of the walkway would be this, because the total area minus the smaller area we have. Okay. Let's say if we need to find the shaded area. So can we say the shaded area would be area of triangle, that is the larger triangle, minus the area of the other triangle, that is the smaller triangle. And what is the formula for the area of triangle is? Area of triangle is always written as half times base times height, right? So we can recall the formula and we can use it to find the area of triangles. So the first one is half, the base was 14 and the height was 16, minus area of triangle is base is 10 and height is 11. Half multiplied by 10 multiplied by 11. So we can say that either we can cancel one of the values. Can we say 2 times 1, 2 times 7, and 16 times 7 we can find, right? That is 112, minus 2 times 1, 2 times 5, 5 times 5 is 55. 112 minus 55 would come out to be 57. That means 57 is the answer. The unit was in inches squared. We can say this is our shaded area. Do we agree on this? We can find the shaded area of any given shape by finding the area of the outer shape minus the area of the inner shape. Okay? So let's try changing the question. Okay? Let's try doing something over here. For question number 9, we'll just make up a new question, and question number 10 would be very easy. We just want to see what else we can do. Okay? So if I say, if I have a circle, if this is a circle, we need to find the area between shaded area between a circle and a square. Okay, let's just complete this. We'll do this question the other way around also, just to see the logic and the difference. Okay, so if we say that a circle is inside a square, and we are told to find in question number 10, they're telling us to find the shaded area. Okay, and let's suppose some dimensions. If this shape is a square, sorry, this looks like a square. So can we say that this is 14 centimeter by 14 centimeter? If the values are given as 14 centimeter by 14 centimeter, that means the outer shape is a square. So can we say shaded area would be equals to, the outer area is area of square, right, minus the, what is the inner area? If this is the center, area of circle. Agreed. So can I say the area of the square can be given as 14 multiplied by 14, that is 196, minus the area of circle. We know that the value of area circle is pi r square. So pi is 3.14. What is the radius? Can anyone give me the radius? I need. What is the radius of this given circle? Nate, can you give me the radius of this circle? See, we know that the radius of a circle is the length from touching the circumference of the circle of one side passing through the center, right? And it stops at the center. But if it's a diameter, it touches the circumference from one side and it passes through the center and goes to the other side, right? So can we say that this is also a diameter, right? This would also be 14. The total length would be 14, right? Because this is from this point to this point, similar to this point to this point, right? And it can be broken down into 7 centimeter and 7 centimeter. So can we say the radius comes out to be 7 squared? The radius comes out to be 7, okay? And we know that 14 square was 196 minus, this was 7, right? So can we say that 7 square is 49 multiplied by 3.14, and it comes out to be 153.86. Once we subtract 196 from it, we are left with 42.14. The unit was centimeter squared. Okay, let's try a question or two from the test, so that let's see how much we can cover. Okay, the test is given to us. We'll do a few questions together. The remaining would be your homework. Okay, so once we do the test, okay, just a minute please, I just need to log in. This is maths grade 7, 22 and 13. Just 22 and area between two shapes and the test. If it's left idle, it logs out. So I just, okay. What they are saying is what is the shaded area, and they have given us the values. That is, for the question number 1, they're saying this. And these values were given for the answer. Okay. Look at this. Okay, let's see. For question number 1, we need to find area of the shaded, right? Okay, I'll help you out a little with this. Can we say the first shape is a square? That means 14 multiplied by 14, that is 196 feet square, right? What about the smaller one? 10 multiplied by 10, that is 100 feet square. So we need to find the difference. So the difference would be 196 minus 100. So can we say 96 feet square? Okay, we can simply find the answer. We do not have to write everything if we are doing a question that has multiple values to it, right? It's an MCQ based question. Can I have the answer for the next question? Where it says, what is the area of the shaded region? Let's copy. This is question number 2. Can I have the answer to question number 2? And the given options are these two. How can we find? We can simply find the area of the larger shape. And what is the area of the larger? Right? What about the smaller shape? Can we do the area of the smaller shape and then we do the subtraction? The larger minus the smaller? Okay. This should mean 3 multiplied by 5. That is 15 centimeters squared. Right? And finding the answer would be 120 minus 15 is option A or option B? Yes, 105 centimeters square. That means option A is the correct answer. Okay, very simple. You don't have to do all the working. You don't have to write the statement if it's an MCQ based question. But if it's a regular question, then you tell all the answers. Okay. So the next question we have is, we'll try one more. What is the area of the shaded region in this given question? Okay, let's try this. Can I have the answer to this question? Question number 3. Let's try simply. 1 minute, please. Just copy this, paste this. Okay. So can we say the larger was 20 multiplied by 19, right? That is 380 miles squared. And what about the area of the smaller one? 14 multiplied by 10, that is 140 miles squared. So how can we find the area of the shaded? If we found out both the areas, that means 380 minus 140 should always be equal to 380. Yes, it should be equals to 240. Thank you. Agreed? So we simply click on the correct option and we say that First option was the correct option. Okay. So similarly, you try to complete the remaining questions. They are just, I'll just give you the number. Very less, 16 questions. We are done with 3 already. Okay. Please complete the remaining questions and give it a practice. Okay. Take care. Have a nice day.